At the start of the video here, I do just want to say that I've started streaming on Twitch, so if you want to watch me play some video games like Minecraft or just talk a bit of nonsense, be sure to have a look because it would really mean a lot. So, CallMeCarson, a bit of an infamous YouTuber who I've covered on my channel quite a few times by this point. I've spoken about the legality versus morality arguments, an account impersonating one of the girls who first came out with information against him, and quite a bit more. The thing with Carson though is that since he's disappeared from the internet, the information surrounding this story, it's been slowly drying up. Everything, like the whole mini-lad situation, is slowly being covered by a multitude of different individuals. One day ago, however, yeah, that changed. You've probably noticed the title of this video. It's probably got something to do with mob mentality. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the mob mentality surrounding the CallMeCarson situation and how it came back with a vengeance after something rather frightening happened the other day. This all stems from the recent apparent doxing of CallMeCarson. Considering I have to explain quite a few things in this video, I'm not gonna do it alone. No, if you watch my previous video, this one, the name Too Shy for YouTube may ring a bell. Now, this guy, he's one of my good friends who really deserves a lot more attention than he gets. So if you enjoy his section, which is coming up quite bloody soon, definitely be sure to check him out and subscribe to his channel. If this video does well, it would be pretty mental if we could get him close to, if not past, 1,000 subscribers. Before we get into this video though, I just want to say that if you want to join a community of people who watch my videos, be sure to follow me on Twitter and join my Discord. The channel, it's really close to 20,000 subscribers. I mean, it's absolutely mental. So if you enjoy this video and want to see some more content from me, be sure to subscribe. Check out my second channel too, please. And if you're really feeling generous, become a member, like these wonderful individuals. With all that being said though, I think it's time we talk about this development in the CallMeCarson story. Now, this section is mainly to add context to this video, and considering this issue surrounds the doxing of CallMeCarson, of course, we need to understand what doxing is. Though, since I am going to be doing quite a bit of talking in this video, I'm gonna go get some water, so in the meantime, here's my friend Shy.
Hi, what up boys, we're back. Now for those of you who are wondering who the fuck am I listening to right now, my name is Shy, I have a channel of my own and I like to cuss a lot in my videos, but I'll talk more about myself at the end of this segment. But today Chandler invited me on the channel. What the fuck? That's a tongue twister. My bad y'all, I'm getting off topic. Basically he invited me to educate y'all on what the fuck doxing is, cause how you gonna watch a video on a nigga getting doxed when you don't even know what the fuck it is? So let's first go over the definition. Doxing is to search for and publish private or identifying information about another particular individual on the internet, typically with malicious intent. So yeah, doxing someone is indeed no bueno. Now before I go any further, I feel like it's also my responsibility to let y'all know that doxing is not a new thing. People have been getting doxed since fucking MW2 dropped, so this is by no means a new concept to the internet. But let's take some examples into play. Let's say someone got into a beef with Moist Critical, Charlie, Penguins, whatever the fuck you want to call them, and they go on Twitter and at him and say that his name is Charles White. They didn't dox him because that's public information that he himself has talked about in his videos before, and the fact that his name is Charles White is not a secret. Now let's flip that and say someone like Corp's husband got doxed. Well, now you're looking at some legal trouble if it goes there, which 9 times out of 10 it doesn't. But if it were to go there, in court the act of doxing itself can only be charged as a misdemeanor, and most of the time you'll get fined around $500, but if you were to go to jail, you could go to jail for up to 6 months. And doxing someone like Corpse would not be easy and would probably call for you hacking into a database that you definitely do not have access to, which would mean that you have broken some other laws that I won't get into. But I hope my segment has helped inform you about what doxing is and the consequences of doxing. And as for my own personal opinion on doxing people, it is never okay under any circumstance, no matter who it is or what they have done. So just don't go out of your way to do it because it's not even worth the risk. But if you like my segment or found it informative in any way, I'd really appreciate you coming over to my channel and checking out some of my stuff. We're quickly approaching 1,000 subs, which blows my fucking mind. I'm doing a hair reveal and a Q&A at 1,000 subs, so if you could help me reach that goal, I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want want to follow any of my socials, hopefully Chandler puts those on the screen now because I think the text that he uses is really fucking cool. Thank you to Chandler for letting me on the channel, and thank you to you guys for watching my segment, and with all that being said, I'm out. Deuces.
Now, mob mentality, also known as herd mentality, is the practice of generating an opinion about something based off of the opinions of your friends, peers, or just whatever's popular at the time. Lots of these opinions are largely emotional, oftentimes too emotional, which means that the core rational elements of a story may get lost in translation along the way, and some pieces of information, they may just be disregarded rather than digested and processed. This is something that has heavily impacted the entire CallMeCarson situation, mainly because most of the anger surrounding it comes from the cesspool hive mind known as Twitter, though I'll get into Twitter a tiny bit later. As I said in the intro of this video, CallMeCarson was apparently doxed the other day. If you were on Twitter the other day and you were searching up CallMeCarson or Carson for whatever reason, you may have seen some tweets surrounding doxing. While I was scrolling through this mess, I was seeing a lot of people saying he was doxed, but no actual proof that he was doxed. I asked a few friends of mine who have knowledge on the CallMeCarson situation, and they too were in the same boat as me. This all changed, however, when I saw these tweets. Now, these tweets are the censored versions that I found, so there is no way to prove that these tweets, if they were uncensored, are CallMeCarson's house. All these tweets maybe is somebody trying to cash in on some drama. But if these tweets are indeed pictures of CallMeCarson's house, CallMeCarson, he's fallen ill to one of the worst things you can do to somebody with an online platform. Now, as I mentioned a few moments ago, there's quite a bit of a mob mentality surrounding the entire CallMeCarson situation and the recent CallMeCarson doxing thing. The first thing I'm going to be talking about is the doxing. Now, I think it's pretty safe to say this, but regardless of your opinions on the whole Carson thing, I think we can all agree that doxing, it's never justified, mainly because it could lead to some serious things happening to not only the person who got doxed, but to their extended family and friends too. For some unknown reason though, there are quite a few people who believe that this doxing, it was justified. If we dive into the Twitter cesspool, we can see that there are a bunch of well-educated individuals declaring that this doxing is a-okay because the hive mind has declared that CallMeCarson is one of the worst people to ever exist. Ever. Lots of people jumped on the doxing bandwagon because, from their perspective, they may view doxing as just a little thing that may not carry that much weight. Well, that, or they may not entirely understand the concept of doxing as a whole. The amount of people who jumped on this bandwagon only strengthens the mob mentality concept tenfold. The mob mentality surrounding the entire CallMeCarson situation is one of the worst ones I've ever seen. Now, disclaimer here, not everybody who views Carson as a bad person is solely basing their opinions off of radical emotions. Lots of these people have thought about this issue and have come to their own conclusions, as you're meant to do. I can see both sides of the argument, and I understand where both sides are coming from. When it comes to the guilty side, you have the people who have rationally thought about it, but then you get the other side of the CallMeCarson is a bad guy argument. Lots of these people have based their opinions not off of their own digestion of the issue, but off of the overall people in my circles believe that this is this, therefore it must be true, right? Idea and a heavily emotional viewpoint. The thing with viewing this situation like this is that it doesn't really help the issue at all. It only serves to further harm it. Some of these people are so set in their ways that if you were to approach them with your own information in the hopes of showing them the other side of the argument, now all you're doing is trying to protect Carson, a known G-word, a P-word, and a perpetual user of his power dynamic, I'll have you know. This viewpoint, actually harms that side of the argument, because people from the other side of the argument will start to view the guilty side as just an emotional mess of people who are trying way too hard to bring Carson down over a stupid issue. Lots of people jumped on the CallMeCarson bandwagon because they saw lots of tweets containing specific words that I have since named the P word and the G word. So if they contain these words, it must be true. Why would anybody lie to me online or tweet something while not having all the information? Instead of doing the rational thing, you know, digging into a story, taking the information you find, processing it, and then coming to your own conclusions, and taking tweets with a grain of salt. Now, all these people do is absorb these tweets and then just regurgitate them when somebody brings the concept up. After this, they tweet out their own similar version of these tweets, which then leads to other individuals repeating the entire process. So the cycle continues. The mob mentality strengthens and grows, further negatively influencing more and more. Oh, and one more thing. Don't you ever go against the mob. Because if you do go against them, you'll be labeled as every single bad thing under the sun. The CallMeCarson situation, it's an incredibly diverse one, so much so that a Twitter debate is still going on to this day. There is a huge mob mentality surrounding this situation that refuses to listen to reason and to see other viewpoints. This only serves to harm their own argument. At the end of the video here, I do just want to say a massive thank you to my friend Shy for joining in. If you enjoyed his section, definitely be sure to check out his channel, which will be linked in the description. CallMeCarson himself isn't helping his situation either, and it really seems like he isn't going to come back anytime soon.